Today's Morphin Network video is brought to you by Karson's Korner. Karson's Korner is a black LGBTQ owned small business. They sell merchandise and apparel on pop culture franchises. These franchises include King of the Hill, Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, and of course, most importantly, Power Rangers. If you're interested in getting their amazing merch, be sure to check them out at www.carsonscorner.com.
I must go. I shall return once I have rehydrated. It's Morphin time! Woo! Apparel Ranger power!
Cool. Way cool.
Mr. Prince, how are you, my man?
I'm doing fabulous. How are you, sir?
Doing good, doing good. How's the weather there? How's the weather in your area?
The weather? The weather is
The weather. My bad.
the weather is a little bit overcast, but hey, sometimes you need the rain to still have a great day. So yeah, we always need the rain here in California. But yeah, I'm weathering it and hanging tough.
To another episode or podcast of the Morphin Network, and we have a very special guest today. We have Karim Prince, the Blue Mind Morphin Alien Ranger himself.
Hello. How are you?
Yes. And again, thank you for being part of this interview.
Oh, couldn't be more grateful to be here. Thank you very much.
Yes. And helping me today with his first interview will be my friend Michael Brogdon. So.
Michael, Staten Island in the building. Stand up.
How's it going, everybody?
Yes. So let's interview started. So Karim, how did you start with acting?
Basically, I did something similar to acting in my high school years. It was basically almost like it was like a debate, but then at the same time, it was like two people doing a scene. And based on that, you had to compete. Well, who can be more authentic? And then I got to states and nationals and things like that. Well, my partner, a good friend of mine, when I finally went to college, she went to the sister school to my school. I went to a college called Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. And she went to Spelman College. So these are in the HSBC is basically, historically black colleges. So she invited me to come to audition for a play. And I had never, prior to that, had done a play. And so I went in and auditioned for it. And surprisingly and gratefully, I got the part. And there was one particular moment when we were doing this play in front of a live audience of students. And I was supposed to be this disgruntled, kind of rebellious type. And this beautiful young African American woman was speaking on the issues of the day, very passionate, and I was supposed to be this disinterested panelist. So what I decided to do from that point was like, if I was disinterested, what I would be actually doing up here? So I literally started to look down at my shoes. My shoelace was untied, and I untied it, and I just looked generally disinterested. But I was like, truthfully, I wasn't trying to fake like I was disinterested. I literally was truthfully trying to be in a place of I really don't care about what she's talking about. Mm-hmm. But the very interesting thing I wanted to share was what was transformational for me, what made me become an actor was this. As I was in that scene, here this woman is with all pomp and circumstance and passion, just spewing this amazing oration in this great speech. And I'm just sitting here not saying a word, off to the side, but everyone started to focus on what I was doing. And they stopped listening to her speech and started to just all be like, oh my God, what is he doing? Oh my God, oh my God, oh God. And I was like, how the power of being able, if you're truthfully in that mode as an actor, I don't know if people that are listening, when you're an actor, you can't fake it. Because anyone can see that you're faking or you're trying to play at it. You have to really be truthful. That's why it's called living truthfully in imaginary circumstances. Because everything is imaginary, but you as an actor have to bring truth to the role to bring authenticity. So with me being as truthful as I was in that moment, everyone was gravitated towards that. And I was really mesmerized by the power of this art and this craft. So from then on, because mind you, I was a corporate finance major. I don't know if you guys know that in my history, but I studied corporate finance. I actually interned at JP Morgan on Wall Street at the time. I was there for 2 or 3 years with the opening of being able to work there permanently with a permanent full-time job. I know, right? Strange transition. Right? From from something very mathematical and business-minded. But yeah, I worked there, stocks, bonds, options, derivatives. That was my focus. But when I had that moment on stage, I knew that this was for me, So from that point, I finished up the semester. I graciously bowed out of this program that would allow me to work on Wall Street. I went from Wall Street and moved to LA with my sister at the time, who was doing some acting work. And she introduced me to an entertainment lawyer who knew an agent. I got with that agent, and the rest was history. So that was my journey from Wall Street to Hollywood.
Interesting.
Very nice, actually. Now, my question is, what was the audition process like for Power Rangers in your perspective?
It was actually very simple and at ease. They made sure they put you at ease, very professional. They allowed you to kind of freely decide who this character, what kind of take you wanted to have on it. And as I read the original script and how my character Cestro, yes, he's from an alien planet. And secondly to that, he was more like the military strategist and technology guy. So immediately for me, I don't know if you guys remember this series, but there was this very famous series called Star Trek New Generation.
I love
and on
that.
Star Trek, oh, okay, so you know what I'm talking about. Well, on Star Trek Generation, they had a character named Worf. And Worf was this, strong baritone voiced, very commanding presence, but highly intelligent. He was the military strategist. He was the tech guy. He was the guy they went with when all the trouble was hitting and everything was hitting the fan. He was the guy that they relied on, with that strength. So I kind of used him as my muse when I played the character Cestro. So through that process, again, they allowed us to be very creative in it and really bring our authenticity, like I talked about earlier, to the role. And I used this character Worf as sort of the canvas to which I can create my own, which became ultimately Cestro, the Alien Ranger.
Excellent. Now going forward to that question is, what was your experience like working on Power Rangers?
Oh man.
Well, your season.
Yeah, my season was really cool. First of all the actors as Alien Rangers, starting off with Raja, aka Delphine, Alan, David, Jim, the whole team we were really a bonded group. Everyone, there was no type of arrogance, there was no type of sense of entitlement. We all were just there, kind of probably in our relatively newer roles. You know what I mean? I think we're all pretty new to the world of Hollywood. So I think we took it all as almost like freshmen coming to high school for the first time. So we kind of bonded together. It was almost like a band of brothers with a sister, so to speak. And coming in with our talents. I'm sure like Jim and Alan definitely coming from that background of plays and performing. And Alan's definitely an amazing singer. He's done tons of musical theater and things like that. So we all had some relative experience, but I think it was the first time we had like an official role. So to answer your question, it was really cool. It was really fun. Everyone was very engaging, very supportive. And then when we had the opportunity to work with the original Rangers, they were all very inviting and open and kind. And it was really a great experience.
Awesome. Well, my question, was there any like fun things to do or like any pranks when you were behind the scenes on the set of Power Rangers?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say pranks, but some interesting things. When you watch a show, as just a viewer, you have this idea of who the Rangers are, right? Mm-hmm. Because as it typically goes, they're, the first Rangers, they all had, they were in non-costume. And then when they changed and morphed, there were these super athletes and doing this fantastic work, martial arts and all that. And all of the original actually did their own martial arts, which was fantastic. But when it came to the Alien Rangers, we didn't do all of our own work. I didn't know. I thought maybe we'd have to. They were like, no, we have people for that. I was like, okay, what do you mean? So it was amazing that on set, I was like, well, where did they get the footage from? I was trying to figure it out. Where all these kick butt martial artist guys? Well, I was walking around set one day, and then I see this huge trailer, and all of a sudden, all these guys came out, and I was like, wow, these were the true Rangers in my mind. These were the guys kicking all the butt. These were the guys doing all the amazing things. I mean, yeah, I was on the acting side of it. Now I had my voice, and I was, okay, we're going to do this. And Delphine, I sense there's you know what I mean? I was playing it up. Mm-hmm. When it was time to kick butt and take names, it was these guys in this trailer who came out when they called them, and they were like, okay, you guys, cut. Perfect. Y'all go back to your trailers. Now time to action. So it was awesome to see that, the show is a composite of so many different talents and abilities to be able to come forth and create the drama, create the action, create the sense of suspense, that brought Power Rangers to becoming such an amazing force in television, and people really, really catching on to the experience. But being behind the scenes, it was like, wow, it takes a lot of different aspects to really create the vision of what Power Rangers has become. So that was a surprising thing. It was almost a prank for me. Like, wait a minute. Like, who's doing all of that? These guys right here, they are the Power Rangers when it's time to kick butt. You guys are the actors bringing it in. We appreciate your part, but now let's bring both of these parts together to create an amazing journey for the viewer. So.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Awesome. Now, you spoke about the original My Morphin team. Now we're going to Zeo. Like, what was your experience like reprising your character in Power Rangers Zeo and being somewhat like a partner mentorship role to Billy?
Yeah, well, that was really cool because it was the first time around in the original series. My introduction to Billy was with the team, within context of the team. Because remember, the kids, they turned into kids, so a lot of the season dealt with trying to get them back to their original age and whatnot. But having the opportunity to work with Billy on Zeo, or David Yost, that was really cool because again, he was like, they're the legends. They're the OGs of Power Rangers. And again, I'm always about integrity. I'm always about who you are authentically as a person. And I was, relatively new. We did about 13, 15 episodes of the original Alien Rangers. So now coming into Zeo, he invited me with open arms, and it was a great chemistry between he and I. Because we both had the same kind of mindset. We're both about technology. We're both the guys when everything hit the fan, it's like, hey, you either defer to Billy or you defer to Cestro. You know what I mean? So it was a nice coordination of the minds coming together to really share in our technological experience and expertise to be able to be able to solve the issues that were going on, because headquarters was destroyed and all of that. So it was really cool. It was really fun, and knowing that in this situation he had retired, he was like the old retired one coming back in the game, to sort of the old cowboy who comes back to save the day, and he has a partner in crime to do it from another world. So that was really cool.
Awesome. All right, so we all know that Hasbro now owns the rights to Power Rangers.
Right.
So my question is this: if Hasbro considers making a Forever Blue reunion episode, would you consider coming back?
Absolutely. And I'm gonna preface it by this. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you did see Spider-Man No Way Out, right?
No way. Yeah.
Okay. I'm about to say, what? Come on now. I'm surely must be on the wrong show, right? So anyway, I'm bringing back the old versions, you know what I'm saying? Bringing those guys back and having them all there with the present Spider-Man, all talking to each other. That was probably my favorite part of that film, because you got to see their brotherhood, their mutual understanding of what it is to be a superhero, but also to be human. And they almost served as like big brothers, to the present Tom Holland version, and kind of helping him through his growing up. It's almost like a coming of age, him dealing with loss, dealing with tragedy, dealing with having to sacrifice all the elements that makes a hero. And these guys came in, Tobey Maguire, and what's the other actor's name?
Andrew Garfield.
Yes, Andrew Garfield, who's an amazing actor. I loved him. I wish he could have done, a full slate of films, because he's such an amazing actor. Good to see what he would have done with the character to sort of finish that plot line with a Spider-Man 3. Who knows, they may bring it back. But bottom line, to answer to your question, I would absolutely be open to that, because it's about really us as that brotherhood of Blue Rangers, and coming together for, whatever the plot would be. I would like it to be very similar in that whoever's the newest Ranger, that we're here to help him, you know what I mean? Or her, whoever they decide, to be able to go, hey, we've got this, this experience and this wisdom, and we've been through a lot as collective Rangers, but now it's your time to shine. You know what I mean? And we're here to lift you up, just like they lifted up the Tom Holland version and they went back to their own universes. I would picture us doing the same thing. Just say, hey, we're here to help, but at the end of the day, hey, you're the next one. We pass the baton to you, and let you ride and represent, the next era of Blue Rangers.
Good question. Yeah, again, No Way Home, one of the greatest films I ever watched.
All right, wasn't it great?
Yeah,
I cried. My fiance, she was like, really, Michael?
Okay, gotcha.
Especially until we came back. No,
I love it.
Now going back to in my Alien. So, was there any talks for your character continuing in the series, like after Zeo?
Yeah, I hadn't had any talks about that. Obviously, I'm always open to those conversations. But with what the beautiful thing about Rangers are, they always are constantly creating something new. They're always very inventive. I was highly surprised to see how many versions have come along. You know what I mean? And they're always trying to think of different ways to be able to reprise these characters, same blue and red and green and yellow, pink, all those basic colors, but what they bring to it, whether it be Dyna, whether it be Beast Mode, always be able to bring in Super Trooper, so many different versions, but it's always something unique, a unique spin to it. So although that I hadn't come to light for me any information about continuing forth as the character in further episodes of Zeo, and ultimately I really respect the franchise and constantly reinventing itself.
Awesome. Okay, so this is another question about Hasbro for you. If Hasbro does call you to come back to the franchise, but as a different character, other than Cestro, would you consider doing it?
I would, and here's why. All the other characters, with the exception of the Alien Rangers, you got to see their face, like their real face. Like I was hoping that, I'd be me, and then I'd transform into an alien. You know what I mean? Like if they had some special visor or something. Oh, okay, you had some morphing power, literally, to transform from a human, because you're coming on planet Earth, so you assimilate. You know what I mean? But then you go into your alien form. So that's what I always hoped. I was like, man, do I have to wear this prosthetic forever? And it was interesting when I first had to put it on. I had to sit back into this mold. I don't know if you guys have ever had a mold put on your head, but it's an interesting experience because what happens is you sit back in it and then they pour this like liquid cement almost. And literally, if you're claustrophobic, you're going to lose your ish, right? So they're pouring this stuff, and I'm like, oh my God. And then they put 2 straws into your nose so you can breathe, right? So you're sitting there, all you have to breathe in is these 2 straws, and as this, this mold is filling up your head, and you're just like, oh my God. So when they finally done with the process, and then, they painted it and do all this wonderful stuff. Then I was like, oh my gosh, this is really cool. He looks like Morph. Like I was talking about the original character. I was like, I wonder if they kind of patterned him after the Star Trek New Generation character. So with that, it was pretty interesting. But in terms of being able to see my face and play a different character, that would be fun. So people can go, oh, okay, that's who Karim Prince, the actor, looks like. And be able to have that connection, you know what I mean? So for that purpose, I don't know if you call it vanity or whatever, but to be able to see what I actually look like and be able to play a role and represent whatever they want me to, that would be a fun twist.
Oh, and also there's a second part to the question. What character? Yes, what type of character would you like to portray? Like mentor or villain?
That's a very good question. I think for challenge sake, I'm really good with the mentor thing. I know I could play mentor. Like I do it all the time. When I first started acting, that was one of the most important things to me, was not only to ascend in my career, but was to talk to kids and inspire kids. So I started to do that. I went and traveled, across the state, talking to different high schools. I went to group homes, troubled kid homes, and, really try to do whatever I could to inspire and motivate them. So that would be kind of like the easy portrayal because it's authentic to me. So if I wanted to be something easy, I would say, play the mentor guy, the guru, the Obi-Wan Kenobi to the Luke Skywalker situation. Right. I can bring him in there. I'll bring him in there. But it would be more interesting for me to kind of play someone who seems like they're going to be that guy, but flip it like they did in the prequels with Star Wars with the Sith.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it seems like he was the friend, but all of a sudden he wasn't, and his power came out, and he was, you know what I mean? And he's just the death. I love that part, power, the dark side of the force. So I was like, he flipped it. He thought he was a friend, you know what I mean? To Darth Vader, but he was not, you know what I mean? He's the one who kind of was the impetus or the catalyst for him becoming Darth Vader, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, that the whole Anakin transformation, that would be a little more dynamic of a character to play, and more of a challenge that I would enjoy as well. If it was an option, then I would go for the more interesting play.
Actually, I do want to ask an extra question. So of course, Alien Ranger was only technically a miniseries. Was there any talks from the studio for your season to be actually a full length season, or?
I think there were talks about it, but honestly, I didn't hear anything that went further with it. I really wish we could have really extended it out. And again, it's really hard to just be these characters who hide behind the masks because, we're alien, but I think there could have been a deeper level of connection to the audience if there was that ability to transform and be ourselves on the human side of things. Yeah. I think, because often in movies, that's what happens, right? The alien transforms into human form, and that's what you connect with. That's what's relatable, right? So then you see the challenge or the fight of, hey, I just want to be like everyone else, but reality is I'm coming from this alien world, and that would have been an interesting kind of dynamic to play. So although it wasn't presented to me, my thought process is, as a viewer, they want to go, hey, I connect with that person. You know what I mean? I connect with them on a human level from a viewership point of view. And I think if we would have had that kind of ability to morph, if you will, I think that would have made a deeper connection for the audience, increased ratings, and ultimately could have potentially led to a full season, in my opinion.
Let's see. Now the next question is, what is your advice to any aspiring actor or actress that wants to be in this entertainment industry, especially this guy, because he is aspiring.
Hey, I love it. I love it. That's a perfect question. You asked the perfect question. Here's the thing as an actor. When I went in, I'm gonna tell you my quick story. I love the craft, but I thought more about the position, right? The role. When I get the big role, and I'm gonna get I want to be a season regular on a show. I want to be a working actor, and I want to help kids. And I only had an idea of what that life was like, just an idea. So in my head, it was, oh, you just go on set. You're making all this money. Everyone's seeing you all the time. But I really didn't know the life of an actor. What is the day-to-day of an actor? What does it look like to be an actor in the work of it? People don't think it's a job. It's a job like everything else, right? It's a job. You have to have skills. You have to know your craft. You have to know where you're going, where your focus is. What are the pieces to the puzzle to see your career unfold? And if you're just coming in with this romanticized idea of what you think it is, and then all the challenges come, you're going to be like, what is this about? You know what I mean? So I would say for me, my personal experience was I got to where I wanted to go, right? I was on TV every day. I did multiple characters. People knew me, but I didn't realize that I don't like attention at all. I love the craft, but I didn't care for attention. I just love the craft. So having people in the street see me and talk to me, it was really hard for me because it seems like I'm gregarious and I talk to everybody. I have that side of myself, but I'm also very private. And I was like, wow, that's different for me. And then when I got on set, I was like, great, when is my scene? It's in the evening. Okay, great. Can I go home or can I go to the mall or can I go watch a movie? They're like, oh, no. You are here for the rest of the day. I'm like, what do you mean? No, you're here because we don't know if we can switch when your scene is going to come up. You mean, so I'm in this trailer on this studio lot all day long. Maybe my scene comes up later on in the evening sometime. So a lot of time is spent waiting to do what you love, right? So for me at that time, and I'm going to give you one more very important thing before I finish this. For me, it was like, wow, the lifestyle, the day-to-day, what is it really like to be an actor? Wasn't what I thought it was.
Oh, wow.
So for me, I wanted to, and I don't want to be locked in. I want to be able to do many different things. I want my freedom. I'm in this glass house, but it's not glass, it's gold bars. You know what I mean? They're gold, but they're gold bars. You understand what I'm saying? I made plenty of money, but at what cost? Understand what I'm saying? So I would have needed to count the cost and know what the life is like and go, okay, I know what the day-to-day world is, and I understand the day-to-day experience of really being a working actor, and am I prepared for that? Do I have the disposition for that? Is that really my personality, or do I want something different? And if that's the case, then you already know the cost, and then you're off to the races. That's the first thing. Know who you are, really. Not just your idea of what it is, whatever you try to do. It could be an actor, it could be a lawyer. Talk to an actor, talk to a lawyer. See, what is your day-to-day like? When you get up in the morning and go to work, let me shadow you. Let me see what it's really like. That way you can see for yourself truly. So it's not the idea, it's the reality, and then you can work towards it. So that's one important thing. Number 2, know your craft. Like anything else, know your craft. Don't just come in it just because I want to know my lines. It's not about lines. It's about really knowing the craft of bringing truth. And you've got your toolbox that you work on. Just like Kobe Bryant will work on his shooting, work on his defense, work on his dribbling. He took all of these skills and he was prepared and he was amazing at what he did, right? You have to take that same kind of Mamba mentality into your craft because it's a skill. There is a level of talent, but there's also a lot of skill that you don't see. You don't see all the training and all the time and breaking down the script and really understanding the beats of the scene, knowing what your character wants, knowing who's in the scene with you and who are they to you, and being able to listen and not just be waiting to talk. There's a lot of things I can go on from the art, but I'm not going to. This is not the place for that. But I'm telling you, know your craft. Fall in love with the craft. Fall in love with the process of creating your characters. Fall in love with understanding who you are in the context of the script, in the context of the show. Know what the world you're about to step in, and then proceed forth. Because that's what they see when you're auditioning. They see the craft, they see the focus, they see the creativity, they see the uniqueness, they see you've done the work. And you may not get the part, but they'll bring you back, guaranteed, because they know you'll come with the goods. That's the second thing. The third thing, that it's called show business. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's not just show. That's what most actors, if you coming into that world, I just want the show. I want the glitz. I want the glamour. I want to be on screen. I want to be an influencer. I want everybody to know my name. No, that's the show. You gotta know the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Business is, okay, who do I know? Who do I network with? When I finally get an opportunity, right? All right, let me continue to talk to that casting director. There may be other parts. Let me talk to the studio that hired me. Let me talk to the network that hired me. Let me talk to the executive producers. Let me talk to other actors so we can create our own projects. Make it a business, because these days you can't just sit and wait for the phone to ring. You've got all this technology now. You can shoot your own films. You can create your own buzz and following and all of that. You have the opportunity and the technology now where you can really create your own career and leverage your understanding of the business so you can prolong your career and expand your career. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if I would have known that, I know plenty of people that knew me and respected my work, that I could have been like, yo, I got this script. Yo, what are you guys planning on doing with this show? Or you seeing me, I'm just a commodity. I am a commodity. How could you put me on a different show? Where's the network going, and how can I be represented in that? Understand what I'm saying? So you make those relationships and you build a career. You talk to other actors. Hey, listen, you got a script? Let's beef it up. Let's talk to a screenwriter. Let's talk to a director. Let's talk to some producers. Let's see if we can get some investors on board, because I got some heat. My boy got some heat, and you know they're gonna lift up the names. So let's bring those people on board and then put our money together and get our own project. You understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Don't think like an artist. Think like a businessman. Understand what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Jay-Z said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman.
Yeah.
I'm a business. He saw himself as a brand. You know what I'm saying? And then he built up his brand. Understand? Of Jay-Z and everything that came with it. Rockefeller Records, Hove, all that stuff. He was very Sean John, you know what I mean? Sean Carter, all that stuff. Very smart. Same thing that Kanye. Extremely smart businessman. Understand what I'm saying? Knew how to leverage his fame. He took the art and the business, and he knew how to harmoniously bring those things together. So those are the three things, okay? Know who you are. Shadow somebody who does it, so you know that is the lifestyle that you want to pursue. Know your craft. Inside and out, continuously enjoy the process of refining your craft. And thirdly, know it's a business. You do those three things, and you're going to optimize your opportunity for success, my friend.
Definitely, because honestly, here's the thing. I did audition for Power Rangers a few years back.
Oh, awesome. That's great, man. Well, again, you never know when opportunities come up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Tobey Maguire, did he think that he was going to, Andrew Garfield, they think they were going to be brought back all these years later? No. But they were ready to go. Right? Tobey Maguire could have let himself go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know if he really. He was always ready. Understand what I'm saying? Always ready for the opportunities, because you never know. I have a friend of mine, Freddie Gutierrez. He's a shout out to Freddie. He's been a writer for a number of years, and for a long time he did not work. A long time, very long time. But he was always writing. He was always networking. He was always perfecting his craft. Year after year, he'd be constantly talking to people, constantly leveraging his people. And finally, someone gave him a shot, and now he's a full-time writer on a great network show. And he's doing amazing right now. But because he always kept his mind and focus on what he wanted to do. He never wavered, no matter what happened in between. So that same story, I bring it to you to give you hope and encouragement. So you never know. Power Rangers can come again, or another type of series that has superheroes in it. Understand what I'm saying? That will come. And whatever's out there for you, nobody else can take it. It's up to you to grab it. You understand what I'm saying? Can't nobody take what's yours, but you can let go of it by not staying prepared, staying focused, know it's a business, know your craft, and keep pressing forward.
Definitely. Thank you for that.
Absolutely,
Preach.
man.
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah, brothers. Gotta put that Jesus shout out on it, man.
Well,
Go ahead.
my question is, do you have any upcoming projects?
Right now, I've actually been building a wellness company actually with my wife right now. But in terms of getting back into acting, getting back into that whole world, I have some friends who have independent companies and building films. I've still got a lot of connects in the business. And recently I've been really pondering the idea of coming back, but more in terms of executive producer / maybe actor. If the project I see it has a role that I really would like to play, then I can do like a Spike Lee kind of thing. I'm executive producer, but then I can kind of direct a little bit, but then I can play one of the subordinate roles. So that's how I see my career now. Not really kind of going in as a unique talent per se, but more so being a boss, kind of, so to speak. More, I'm leveraging a team to create projects of my own. But again, I will never neglect an opportunity, like you guys were talking about earlier in this interview. If Power Rangers came a calling, whoever came a calling, hey, I still look ripped. You know what I'm saying? I still keep it tight. I gotta keep it tight, baby. You ain't gonna see me slacking. You know what I mean? I may be all the way out here in the Calabasas land, and it's been a minute, but you can look at a picture from when I was 20, you can look at me now, and I stay focused. I keep my body right, I keep my mind right, I keep my craft sharp, and I'm always ready to go.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Any other questions? What you got for me?
So now, my bad, I was muted. So now we are in the comment section of the interview. And so, Karim, are you ready for your prank questions? Awesome.
Bam, let's go. Let's hit it.
And also, you had to mention Kobe earlier, so thank you. I actually met the guy.
Of course, man. Oh, okay.
Before we get into the comment section, I have one other question. Where did you get your helmet done?
Oh, yes. Well, when I first started doing, I only did one of the Power Morphicons. One of the fans, man, next time you have me going again, I'm going to present his name because it escapes me right now, and because I want to give him a shout out. But yeah, he did it for me, and I was so grateful for that. I wanted to say something about the Power Rangers community, the Power Rangers world. There is so much love and support, so much. I mean, you guys show up and show out. You guys as fans are more than just fans. You guys become family. You care about not only the characters and the storylines, but you care about the actors as well. Mm-hmm. And you guys have taken the journey. I mean, I did this back in the 90s, man. It's like 2022. But, when I went to my first Power Morphicon, people were like, oh my God, it's Karim Prince. He's Cestro. So Cestro, so tell me about, and they were just like so right there. You know what I mean? And it was so amazing to watch the kind of love and support and the encouragement that they gave me. I hadn't been in that world in such a long time. They encouraged me. They're, you guys as fans, you guys are the heroes. We come in, we do the work, and then we go home. But you guys are the ones who carry the legacy. You guys are the ones who wear the T-shirts, who, come and get the autograph pictures, who have invested your time and your energy because you see something in these heroes that remind you of yourself or who you want to be. Understand what I'm saying? And you guys keep the legacy alive. You know what I mean? So my hat, if I had one, my helmet, my helmet goes off to you guys and what you guys have been to the Power Ranger world and Power Ranger community. So I thank you for all of you. Because
actually, my fiance literally today actually got one of those autographs from Karen Ashley.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's fantastic. That's awesome. Yeah, she's totally sweet. Totally sweet. Oh man, she's literally like sunshine. Like literally her soul. I think if you ever saw her soul, it would radiate the sun, like straight up.
Wow.
So we do have our first question from a fan. So he says, well, it's a greeting first. Aaron Gove says, hi Karim, what is your favorite thing about Power Rangers your season? Greetings from Argentina.
You know what? It was really cool working with the kids. You know, I always like to see young talent and what they're, because I watched the original show, so see them kind of embody the characteristics of their older selves, so to speak. And just to see the maturity of the actors and their ability to kind of bond with us, you know, almost like our little kids or our little siblings, you know what I mean? So it's kind of fun. Here we are, these alien creatures, and we're like, oh, come on. It was almost like how would I explain? It was almost like the movie E.T. almost, where the bond between the alien and the kid, where it was the bond between us as the aliens and these little kids, and sort of the bonds that we grew through those episodes and through the storylines were really fun and really special.
Awesome. Paramus Mesticor says, have you seen any clips or episodes of Kakari? Oh, basically, did you study your Japanese counterpart?
Oh, you know what? I had looked at it a little bit, but for me, it was really trying to create something fresh and new. I didn't want to have that in my mind so much that I would duplicate another, you know, even though it's a version of myself, I didn't want to duplicate that. I wanted to kind of create something new. So although I did look at it a little bit, just to kind of give me a little inspiration, kind of see what the world is like and the essence of it, I sort of took it like a canvas and a paintbrush and took some of those colors, if you will, and then added my own to create my own personal collage, which ultimately became the character that I portrayed as Cestro.
Awesome.
Yes, you did somewhat answer this, but I mean, elaborate. He's asked, Paramus also, how was it like working with David Yost? Oh, for Zeo.
Yeah, well, I'll reiterate. Yeah, he was really cool. He was, I mean, because when I seen him on the show, he was a little more intense and exciting, but as a person, he's very reserved. He's not the energy he portrays when he was playing Billy. You know what I mean? When I would talk to him and it would say cut, he was just extra cool, extra chill. You know, he was just this very just relaxed, confident guy. You know what I mean? And even when I had seen him for the first time in a jillion years at my first Power Morphicon, he carried that same energy. You know, his line was going all the way down, you know, virtually the entire convention hall, you know, probably about 100 yards. And with every fan, he was kind. He was just cool, calm, and collected, very, very amiable. And so he was the same person there, you know, helping all these people be inspired as he was on set when I worked with him. So it was a great opportunity to connect with David Yost.
Awesome. Oh, my mom's there. Hi, Mom. So what was your working schedule?
Mommy!
Yeah. So my mom's asking, what was your working schedule during filming? Oh. Okay.
Oh, Mom has a unique camera. It actually just depended on, you know, what scenes needed to be shot that day. Because you don't really do if you know anything about acting, when you shoot, you don't necessarily shoot things in sequence. So it's based on location. So whatever shots need to be on that location, they group those together for economic sake. Typically was at most of the work I did was on Castaic Lake. You probably have no idea where that is. You may. But I was coming from North Hollywood all the way to Castaic, sometimes super early in the morning. My days would range from like maybe 4:30, 5 o'clock. I had to be there on set at 6 because I had to put the prosthetic head on. They had to do touch-ups on the makeup and all of that. That took a little time. So I could typically be there anywhere from, you know, 6 o'clock in the morning to 4 or 5 o'clock at night. You know, so like I said, it's like a job. It's not like, oh yeah, we're just sipping on mimosas and we do a little work. It is a job, and you know, being an actor, taking it seriously. You know, so yeah, that was the overall kind of daily schedule when I was working on Power Rangers. Yes.
Well, oh, sorry, Ryan.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
My friend Clemens, he actually put this. Did you keep anything from set?
Wow, you know what? The only thing that I really kept was a couple of fan pictures. I mean, they've been posted a couple of times. I have them in my nice little special drawer of all my, actually in my photo album. But they're probably floating around the internet somewhere. But it's one of my favorite pictures that I think I actually have as one of mine that you can sign is the whole Mighty Morphin Alien Ranger cast with our prosthetic head off, so you can see all of us as actors, and we're holding them. And at that time, I actually had a little bit of hair. I had this, like, I don't know, this high top fade or something going on. what's some type of Jerry curl. I don't know what was going on there. Um, it was pretty odd looking. But it was a picture that was captured, and like I said, it just reminded me of us coming in as like those new high schoolers, and really just about to do something that was really meaningful to all of us, not only as artists and professionals, but as human beings, you know. So that picture is probably one of the cast of the Alien Rangers, probably one of my most coveted prizes that I got from the experience.
Nice. Kent Brown. Also, you played lifeguard in a water park episode. Oh, did you?
Oh wow! Also, you played it, man. I don't even. So you got, you know what I love about fans? They remember things that I'm like, I did. When did I do that? I'm like, was I ripped at the time? Or was I don't know. If I did, was the question referring to on the show I played a lifeguard, or in some other?
I think Power Rangers.
Okay. I don't remember that episode. I do remember being at a pool, and I do remember going to an aquarium, and I had to sit there and like talk to some. I don't know what I was talking to, a blowfish or something. I don't remember it now, but I remember that I was having some type of Aquaman telepathy with some of the fish in that particular aquarium. We went to an aquarium episode. That's the most familiar I can associate myself with water. So,
well, I
remember that.
I actually have one more question. Casted, but if you were casted to be a different color, what color would you have been?
Man, you know what? I love red.
Hey,
yeah, I love red, man. There's something about that red. You know what I'm saying? And my boy, why is his name escape me? Who's the original Red Ranger?
St. John.
Yes, my man was the coolest dude to me at the time. You know what I mean? I mean, he had the hair. You know what I'm saying? He had that cool look. You know, he was like leader, alpha, all day. You know what I'm saying? So I just liked the take chargeness of the Red Ranger. I mean, I don't know what their personalities are now. I don't know if they've kind of changed personalities. Maybe it's Green now who's the leader, or I don't know how things have transitioned throughout the various different series. But red has always been, if I was to be a different color, that would be the one for me.
Well, red is, besides for Mighty Morphin, where it was red, then white that became leader.
Okay.
Every other leader was red.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that would be my second. White. So from red to white, that would be dope. I would like that. Just clean, crisp white, looking like you come from Elysium or Mount Olympus or something. The Mount Olympus Power Rangers. Exactly. Bring down that Thor power, man. So yeah, something like that.
So you're wordy. You are wordy. Everett Sanchez, do you want your own Lightning collection figure?
Wow. You know what? It was interesting when I first saw, because my dad actually sent me an Alien Ranger action figure. And I was like, wow, like my character is a freaking action figure. So to answer the question, absolutely. That would be really fun. Again, you play these characters, but then when you actually have an action figure named after or a collection, and you're a part of that, you're really part of a legacy. You know what I'm saying? And that to me means something. So absolutely.
Yeah, hopefully, because like these are really popular. Like these, plus what's cool is they actually have the heads.
Yeah.
So,
like, I have a few in my cabinet. So.
So that's what I'm talking about. Then I can just have this dome right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just right in like Karim Prince up in there, and then the Cestro. Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah, so put that in motion, guys.
Come on, Hasbro. Come on.
Kick in, Hasbro. Kick in. Come on, y'all.
Thomas Franco says, what do you think of Lord Zed coming back for the current season?
You know what? Anytime you have an opportunity to bring a powerful character back into the world of Power Rangers, and a character as powerful as Zed was, as Lord Zed, I think it's really phenomenal to do that. Because again, when you have, especially when it comes to villain characters or strong characters, when you bring them back, it changes the chemistry and dynamic of the entire experience for the audience, to bring them into an existing storyline. Someone they're familiar with, they know, and then you bring them. It's almost like a cat out of water, a fish out of water situation, where you take a character and then you put them in a different environment, and you see how the dynamics are going to change. So from an actor point of view, I think it's an awesome choice that they made. And then from from a viewer and creating the drama, to bring back a character like Lord Zed into the Dino Rangers series, I think it would be it's a really cool thing.
Awesome. So we'll do a few more questions, guys. We'll do like 3 more. So Thomas Franca says, final question, since 30th anniversary could involve all new, would you come back for that? Oh yeah, 30. Oh shit. Oh yeah, next year's 30th.
Oh wow.
Next year's 30th anniversary.
30 years.
Oh wow, that's right. 30 years in the making. And the answer to that is 30 years. Telling you, shoot. I'm like, wow, 30 years. Now, how old does that make me? Yes. Like I had answered earlier in this interview, absolutely. It would be a pleasure and an honor to do so. Like I said, I take care of myself. So it would be fun to have it's almost like it's like a reunion, like a family reunion of sorts, and even get a chance to meet many of the actors from different series that I hadn't got a chance to meet, whether when I was doing this series, as well as going to Power Morphicon and seeing them there. So it would be great to actually be working with these guys.
Yeah.
That would be an awesome experience. So absolutely.
Do you notice your suits were Ninja Team? Oh yeah, did you notice your suits were Ninja Team? You guys were Alien?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they really did. Because I did a little bit of homework. So looking at the suits, and for me, it almost reminded me. Again, I'm an old school Star Trek head. Like old school. So with Shatner and whatnot. So those outfits, especially the top and even down, almost reminded me of the suits that the people on Star Trek would wear. You know what I'm saying? So. Yes, and I also did recognize them from the Ninja series as well.
If you could choose your own Blue Ranger team with 4 Rangers, who would you choose? So basically 4 Rangers, 4 Blue Rangers, and you're the leader.
Wow.
Ooh.
Dang, that's a hard one, man.
I
don't like
guess.
to exclude anybody. I'll tell you what. You guess, and then we'll talk about.
I can guess
one.
What do you think? I can guess one. I can guess it might be David Yost. I bet you, yeah. He did work with him.
Yep, that's a shoo-in because he's OG, and I work with him. You can't leave the OGs out. You got all the original. You can never leave them out.
What about Steve Cardenas?
Yeah, he was also in your team. Yeah, he also teamed up with too.
Man, see. Man, I can't pick because every time you bring somebody up, I'm like, yeah, he's dope. Wait a minute, he's dope. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I forgot about. Nah. See, I ain't gonna get me caught up. Nah. I ain't gonna... But I would have to say, without question, if I had to be like absolutely somebody that cannot be left out, it would absolutely be David Yost, because I have to give total props and big ups, put some respect on his name for being one of the OG, the first Blue Ranger. So for him first, and everyone else, hey, whoever got picked, I would be so grateful. It would be an honor to serve with that blue team.
Well, Ryan, we actually have one question from my fiance. She typed it in.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, ma'am. So if you could travel anywhere, where would it be? Wow, where would that be? That's an interesting question. I want to say typical things like, Maui or Hawaii. But you know what? I would really like to go to Europe. I've never been to Europe. I've never been like Paris or France or Italy, something like. Oh, you really? Oh, okay.
Never been.
Never been. Sardinia. Oh, okay. Yeah. See, as brothers, we don't travel much.
Exactly.
But so if I was, because I've been to Hawaii many times. I've been to Canada for work. But yeah, I would say venturing into my first foray in true traveling, I would say Europe. There's a lot of historical, from Rome to Italy, Leaning Tower. I mean, there's so many amazing things that I can go and experience, heading to Europe. So I would say Europe would be my choice.
Awesome. Now we'll do one more question because of time. Let's do one good one. Let's see. Oh, there's one good one. I got it here. Okay. It's from our friend Clement. What is your favorite
Mhm.
convention moment? So you've been to, of course, a lot of conventions. What's the biggest or greatest moment you experienced in a convention?
You know what? There was this one kid, and he came with his sister, and he was in a wheelchair, and he had a little bit of challenge with his speech. But you know what was so beautiful about that moment was he had so much joy and so much happiness. When he saw me, his eyes like lit up like we were best friends who hadn't seen each other in 10 years. And the level of joy and excitement that was in his face like impressed me. You understand what I'm saying? Because we just, forget being a ranger or an actor or anything like that. Just as a human being, it's very easy to get so caught up in your own challenges and worries and concerns that you lose sight of what God has always, already has given you. You know what I mean? And you begin to depreciate what elements in your life that exist. So when I was watching this kid who, clearly had challenges, but his spirit was not disabled in any way. His spirit was alive and vital and fresh and hopeful. And he had more hope and more light in his eyes. And he humbled me by seeing that kind of love and excitement, enthusiasm for life that he really touched me, So I would say that was really one of the most powerful experiences for me. And I had very similar ones to that, when I went to Power Morphicon for the very first time. But him specifically, it's very easy for us to go, wow, it must be tough for him, or wow, that's a difficult life. And he's like, I'm good. I'm at Power Morphicon. I'm seeing all the people that I love and I've watched on TV. Now I get to see in person. My sister took me here. I get to take pictures and autographs and talk to the people that I've just seen on the other side of a screen. My life is great. You know what I mean? So just seeing that level of perspective that he had on life, and he's younger than, I'm an old man. Here he was, this kid. He was showing me what life is really about. You know what I mean? Gratitude and appreciation for who you are and your experience of life, and be able to live with that kind of grace. Man, that was powerful. So that would be the monumental moment for me.
Awesome. Now, before we end it, of course, requests from fans and of course from us. Can you do your morph, or do you still remember it?
Oh, I can't remember. My hands was like I can't remember if it was like this.
Yeah, it was like that. It was like that. It was like that.
Was it?
I don't.
Right here?
It was like that. It was like that.
Right here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I had it on. So I'm bringing it up. I got it right there. Get it. I'll hold it there for the camera. Take it on. There it is.
Awesome. All right, guys. So we thank Karim for being our special guest.
Oh wait!
Oh.
I gotta say the words too, though.
Oh, words? Yeah, okay.
Oh
yeah, I forgot to.
I gotta say it.
So it's blue.
Oh man,
ring.
I gotta say it. No, don't say it. I remember.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna make y'all wait for a second. Blue Aquatar Ranger Power.
There you go.
I told you I remember, baby. Don't think I forgot.
So, Karim, before we leave, where can the fans find you on social media?
Definitely can look me under just this Karim Prince. Look for my name. You can see my face. I'll be the black dude on the side. You know what I'm saying? It's like saying what's up. But I also, with Brandon, going to be creating my own page that's just unique for all the fans of the Rangers. So that's what I'm going to be building very, very soon. But until then, you can just look my name up and you'll find me.
Awesome.
And Brian Michael, where can you find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Red Ranger 2134, and you guys should look me up on Facebook under Michael Brogdon.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram, Dancer.247, and please follow us on the Morphin Network at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And also follow me at Luminary, where I write articles and news journals. So, guys, Karim, thank you for being our special guest.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yes,
thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate your time, and this was great. I enjoyed myself.
Yes, I'll do goodbye wave. Bye, guys.
All right, now. Bye now.
Contrary, doing it different. Contrary, doing it different. Contrary, doing it different. Contrary, doing it different. contrary, doing it different, different.